Why is Jamaica poor?
It's because politicians consistently spend more money than they raise in taxation, more money than they can possibly raise in taxation, most of which, in point of fact, they actually waste.
It's an embarrassing but inescapable truth about Jamaica most of the time. We're a complete mess, from arresting criminals to developing industries, diversifying exports to simplifying taxes, creating wealth to erasing intolerance. Jamaica lags behind much of the world. Our GDP per capita is less than half the global average. According to the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, almost 1 in 3 men and 1 in 2 women in their early 20s can't find work. 40% of all the jobs in the country are in farming, fishing and car repair. Construction and tourism provide a quarter of the rest. And those odd-baked jobs pay about 11,500 Jamaican dollars a week, not enough to afford the cell phone or the computer to watch this video. What is a beautiful banana republic to do? 200 years ago, Jamaica was the richest colony in the British Empire, by a distance, and its citizens like Simon Taylor and Thomas Thistlewood, the most wealthy. Falmouth famously had running water before New York. How did we go from such prosperity in 1814 to such poverty today? Why is Jamaica so poor? It's the billion-dollar question, one the best and brightest social scientists have been chewing on for decades. Here's what the most influential living economist, Robert Lucas, has to say. Is there some action a government of India could take that would lead the Indian economy to grow like Indonesia? If so, what exactly? Once one starts to think about it, it is hard to think about anything else. Well, it's easy to know what makes a market healthy, just to write down what the first world does. Modern economists agree that balancing state budgets, suppressing inflation, allowing free trade, and investing in infrastructure is the way to go. But what's good for the country is not necessarily good for the government. In a democracy, where politicians only last a few years at the top, it makes more sense to spend as much as you can, protect the interests of powerful friends, and skimp on infrastructure, apart from big, prestigious projects. Still, with selfish people in power everywhere, why do rich countries stay rich and poor countries stay poor?
Is because they're ridiculous, ineffective, ignorant politicians consistently spend more money than they can raise. And then they borrow, and they borrow, and...
In 2001, a Turkish economist, Daran Acemoglu, solved an amazing, disturbing piece of the puzzle. He discovered that he could predict the current GDP of 70 countries, including Jamaica, by looking at the mortality rate of white men in the 1800s. Wait, what? How in the name of Paul Bogle are those things even related? It turns out that wherever European colonizers survived in large numbers, like Australia and North America, they imported the rule of the law from home. But where they mostly succumbed to disease, like much of Africa and the West Indies, they didn't bother to set up strong institutions. Instead, they set a precedent of grab-and-go, short-term extractive policymaking that persists, like the viruses they feared to this very day. Out of many, one example: inefficient bureaucracies that encourage and even tolerate widespread corruption. Tim Harford, yet another economist, explains, development is thwarted because the rules and laws of the society do not encourage projects or businesses which would be to the common good. The small amount of education and technology and infrastructure in a country like Jamaica could be much better used if the society was organized to reward good productive ideas, but it is not. By contrast, America's patent system, effective courts, and venture capital paved the way, as much as the literal investment in highways for a good idea like FedEx to flourish. In turn, FedEx created the delivery network for Amazon, whose supercomputers now enable Netflix, and the virtuous cycle continues. This is all very depressing though, because it suggests that the problem of poverty operates on a scale larger than anyone's lifetime. That as a colonized people, we are predestined to struggle far past independence, and that we are our own worst enemy in implementing solutions.
But with all the state of emergency and SOE and all these things, it's not a police problem. I told the government this long ago. It's a social dysfunctional problem. Moral issue, self-value, financial issue, unemployment issue, broken homes issue, dysfunctional parent issue, or a whole heap of things, and then no social development not happening. We only have SOE and state of emergency looking for the bad boys. Who's looking for the good boys? What about the good boys that doesn't really want to be bad boy? Who is looking for them and showing them any little thing or implementing any little activities or nothing? Looking all the inner cities. Only bad boys we're looking for. Nobody down there. First thing, you hear them say peace management, them are break it down, them nobody want more peace management. All the little people them go around and talk to the little youths them and encourage them not to be bad boys. Them don't want to put no more money in that. They want to put it in a SOE alone. So a bad boy alone them want to look for. And then the bad boy them find the little good boys them. And turn them in a bad boy too. Call them idle. And nobody looking out for them. We in the ghetto regular. No little sports program, no little education program, no little music program, nothing. Those things lead back to all the dysfunction in a society. People don't value life certain way anymore. And most of the man them way are bad out the road. Them know them not gonna way. Most bad boy, how long them last? 6 weeks, a month? The wickedest thing come boy along this time, a dopey film. When film they know? So, all who are bad know say them not no future, but them just not value them life. Them now business. Who tell them say them are rich anyway? Nobody not done again. Where that name? Who name a Dan in a one come? Dan not there again. Them something no work no more. Your name Dan. Your main suspect. Person of interest. Assault reach to that. Nobody can name Dan again. So every man who tell you that popo and a tabo me should you just want you sell your casket. So me I wonder if the government don't know all these billion they must spend on the SOE. Let's do some social program. That's what we want. SOE round this up, and 6 months here will be there dead same way. So if it's an SOE the problem. We need to go on this to change the lifestyle and the focus and the outlook of the people. Come and see so and in the business. Because in the value life. We need to go teach them the value of life. That's the only problem that it wasn't like the police officers were not doing them job, but for them job now scare nobody from doing for them job. Because them man they are dunce tug. You hear the word? Dunce tug. And then we have boy you know that not understand words. Them cannot communicate. Them just ignorant. We have to fix them dunce tug the head if we want to help crime in Jamaica. Can't care how you got SOE run in the community, dunce tug run another one little. We have to help the young people of the country, especially the young boys them. So all of this, it make the whole society get so rampant with the violence, it escalating in our homes now. So this is all the thing when we want to tell the MP, the councillor, and the Prime Minister, and the opposition leader, stop wasting the money on policing. Police are wicked man in Jamaica. The mafia, what didn't him become cripple our police. Our police them around for slap boy. You think our police them are idiot? Our police them bad, but them boy are mad, them not have no value for their life. So the care much of them the police them kill, you have another 100 rising. And then we need to go diffuse and change them outlook. And that we've been doing by bringing youth, And the hardest garrison we take people out of and turn them in a superstar. This is what we need to do. Going on the hard garrison them, but take out these youth and turn them in a genius. Every bad man as him start make money and him start feel like him a live comfortable. Him nobody want bad How we are life them don't know Me know that So it's just the people them of it. And then now the government kinda like when the youth them are idiots still Because they like when they can go down there and manipulate them head and tell them some foolishness and make them do them political work. Them not like smart people in politics, they don't like them up in parliament. But them like to go and say fundamentally and put some word where you don't know what you're saying. Yeah, so them not like when everybody understand fully the foolishness what them are trying to present. So them like when you have the idiot them down and them can go buy vote for $5,000 and them something there in a virgin. So we in society, if you demand them, say, listen, that one to use the money, take the money and give the police, and the police and can't do the job and feed them job that. Because police can't change people's life, the money can't take people's life and put them in a prison. And it's changes we need. Because you are waiting till them turn bad boys, send police, kill them or lock them up. Send police, kill them. And them still have the element to create them. So these are the elements where we have to help get rid of the society if we want our society to grow. And with the violence and crime rate like what we have, it's not easy for Jamaica grow. Everything I got tear down. It have to change. So we have principle and moral and we grow up with sense And everybody have that understanding. So enough of you, them get dark and then naive. And as I tell you, the internet and the cable and the Americanized foolishness, everybody turn wannabes. It's crazy. So we as Jamaican, we have to keep our focus and know what match we and when not match we. And certain behavior and our own and certain activities, and then know the government, them do more to the people than for the people. Them say we have a little growth in unemployment and we don't even know how much percent. How much a minimum wage now? 6,000? See it? If you check across the region of the other Caribbean, minimum wage must little more than that. You understand 6,000, I got 7,000 that can't go supermarket that. So at that, those things the government have to fix. Unemployment and the minimum wage. If those things now increase, the country now move. And if you not help the poor, the country can go up. So it was a great reasoning and we hope we can reason soon again.
And so, as he speak, we wonder if anyone is really listening. But the problem is, we know, the Jamaicans know the problem. The politicians are not ignorant, they know the problem. But the question is, do they really want to solve the problem of crime in that beautiful paradise that we call Jamaica?